W7ITL mic check. W7ITL mic check.
Hey Wade, here's K9PQ. You're coming through. It's a little rough, but readable, perfectly readable. A little rough, readable, perfectly readable. Sorry, my gain a little bit. Perhaps I saw now a little bit. Perhaps I saw now a little bit. Was a bit better. You probably heard the echo. You had an echo on yourself. Yeah, it's probably because of how I got the audio routed. You might try turning it down even a little bit more. It's still just a little bit rough.
I can't seem to get a picture in. I don't know what the deal is. I can't activate the repeater on transmit.
Can you hear me, Don?
Yeah, I can hear you, Bob. Hey, I'm on my Echo link, and I tried to go to case.
I don't know what that is. Anyway, I think you're right. I think we should be, I think K7QJ is the one to use.
did you see the repeater?
Wait, say something over the repeater when you get a second. And 7QO. 7QO, this is K9PQ. Something, Bob, go ahead. Yeah, I just heard you come on and I thought you asked to have somebody say something. That's why I came back to you. Over the repeater. I only got the last part of that, something about repeater. Yeah, sorry, I meant over the television repeater. Oh, God, yeah, okay. I missed that. I heard repeater, but not television repeater. Okay, well, all right, well, hopefully we'll be seeing that happen. But yeah, okay. I'll get clear here and wait for the net. This is K9PQ. Jim, the television repeater is on. I see it. Are you saying you're not seeing it? I am seeing it just fine, but I'm hearing something just very faint. I'm going to run upstairs and try to crank the volume on the decoder box up as much as possible. That could have been just my audio. I was transmitting for a long period of time with my mic on, so you could have been hearing that. Be back in just a couple minutes. I'm going to run upstairs real quick.
This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airwaves with digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. We transmit on 70 centimeters. We receive on 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, please Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage on the internet. There you'll see the exact frequencies we transmit on and the frequencies we receive on. Also, you'll find a link on our front page on the internet that will take you to streaming. We stream our nets between 8 and 9 o'clock on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Also, we'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association letting us use WW7STR's repeater 147.08, and you need a tone of 103.5 to communicate with this net. Again, WW7STR's repeater 147.08, and you'll need a tone of 103.5 for this net. So with that, I'll pause in case anybody has an emergency traffic or needs to make a contact before our net gets fully underway. Hearing none, welcome to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, checked in by video link is Ron, KD7QKU, Bob, K9PQ, Wade, W7ITL, N7QO, Jim, WU7N, James, and myself, Dave, KD7ZYM, and also new to the net is Don, K7NKK. Is there anybody else wishing to check into the net this evening?
KF7UHK, Jessica and Everett.
Net acknowledges KF7UHK and Everett. Thanks for that, Jessica. Again, is there anybody else wishing to check into the net? Hearing none, let's start the ball rolling. We'll start off with Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma. KD7QKU here.
Okay, KD7QKU
Right
here.
now, my picture
Let's see,
hasn't come up.
right now my picture hasn't come up. I don't know what's wrong.
I tried it a minute ago, it worked just fine.
I tried it a minute ago, it worked just fine.
Seem to open the repeater.
Right now I can't seem to open the repeater. There it is.
Okay, I
It's
hear a
just
lot of
taking a while.
feedback, Dave. I don't know.
Okay, I hear a lot of feedback, Dave. I don't know if you're leaving your computer
on
mic.
purpose or not. But thank you. Okay, well, let's see. Started off with the meeting this morning, and then Wade came over and picked me up. We went over to the clubhouse, Tacoma Cam Club, visited with some of the guys there, and then he hooked up a little 900 megahertz, I guess, antenna, and we tried to get the repeater, this one, but it wouldn't work. We couldn't get a picture. He went upstairs, and we went out on the front porch, but it didn't work. So we came over here, and he reset my, I can't remember the receiver or the transmitter, one or the other, and wouldn't you know, my camera quit working. It ran out of space on the card, so then after he left, I had to delete all the pictures. I don't know how big that card is in there.
It ran quite a while, I guess. So that was it. I got 43 degrees. It was raining pretty good out. It rained a lot today, and last night I got almost an inch of rain. More rain than I need. And everything over here is really saturated. Alright, well that's enough for now, so I'll send it back to Dave, KD7ZYM, and the group KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks for that. Let's go to Jessica, KF7UHK.
Everybody out there tonight is Jessica, KF7UHK, up here in Everett, where it's, I think, currently raining. It's been kind of a gloomy looking day outside all day, and just got done watching a movie, and I'll tell you about it probably next time around. and then we used a crock pot today to make some like chicken, barbecue chicken kind of thing, and it was pretty good. You know, we used pineapple and molasses and some couple of sauces, and pre-cooked the chicken a little bit before we threw it in the crock pot, and it just came out falling off the bone. It was just delicious. But I'll pass it back for now. This is KF7, USK.
KF7 UHK, thanks for that. Let's go to Bothell, to Bob, K9PQ.
I did the wrong thing there. There we go. Good evening, everybody, and nice to have Don with us tonight. Echolink didn't work for him, but we might be able to get him in through Discord audio. We'll see if we can get that to work, unless he's got Echolink going by now. Well, yeah, we had the meeting this morning. It was a good meeting. We covered a lot of things and kind of got caught up after the holiday time where I was sort of out of touch for a while, and it was nice to kind of just get back together with everybody and get caught up. Otherwise, not a whole lot going on today or this week, really. I did have a really nice New Year's Eve party. I went to a friend's place. One of the hosts, we trade off hosting dinner, usually potlucks, but this time it was sort of a potluck, but she did something very special. They prepared all the fixings to make sushi, and we made our own sushi. It was a lot of fun, and it turned out pretty well. I mean, mine was much more like a burrito than a sushi roll. I got a little ambitious with how much fish I put in, but it was really, really good, and I managed to get it down just fine, and just had a real good time with folks there. So, okay, and as usual, we did the East Coast New Year's, so I was home before 10, and I'm fine with that. I've mentioned this before. Usually every New Year's I mention this. I'm a night owl. I'm usually up well past midnight, but on that particular night, I would not want to be on the road after midnight with all the people that got drunk that don't normally get drunk, the amateurs, as I call them. I do not want to be on the road with them. Okay, I'll send it back. K9PQ.
K9PQ, thanks for that. So let's go down to Tacoma to Wade, W7ATS.
All right. Well, let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay. All right. Well, today I'm experimenting with audio. So over the digital TV, you should hear my digital audio, and on the repeater, I have it going out as well. So it shouldn't be echoing or anything. But today we made an improvement on our repeater system. Now we have dual input, and I'm going to demonstrate that. I don't know if Carlos is on, or Ron, if he wants to jump in. I'll just put up the other repeater input. So now you should see two on the output. If somebody that's digital wants to try the other input, I think Carlos is right now the only one that's configured for the lower input. But you should see two boxes. One is the left and one is the right. Maybe there's a repeater up there that's causing my signal to drop. All right, it looks like I'm coming back, but we made a lot of improvements on the repeater. We got a new low noise amplifier up there, so to kind of get a better noise ratio, or what do we call it, lower noise into the signal. So I should be a lot cleaner, less dropouts, and that's what we've been doing. So I will turn the net back to our net control, Dave, this is W7.
Net on the O8 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, let's move on to Jim, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Ron, rain all day. Yeah, that was almost like it was where I am, except that it didn't really start until, well, it rained during the night, and it was raining when I got up, but then there was about a maybe 3-hour period during the earlier in the day when it was not raining, and it rained the rest of the day, and it's raining now. Not hard, but enough to get you wet if you stand out there for more than a couple minutes. Otherwise, okay day. Jessica, yum. That's about all I can summarize out of that, what I got from that. Bob, good meeting. Wish I were there. Made sushi. Yeah, mine would probably come out more like a burrito as well. I would bet that probably ate better than just if it were more normal sushi. And amateur drunks? Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And yeah, I've known a couple of people who have had accidents on New Year's night as well. So probably a good idea to get home a little bit earlier. Wade, last net I found a problem. I had a gender changer which was not working properly, so I swapped it out with a cable and assumed that would fix the problem for the audio, getting it from the decoder box downstairs. Well, not so much. I definitely hear some digital audio coming over the television repeater, but I'm unable to control the volume on my monitor downstairs. So it's rather attenuated. I can just barely make it out. It has to be real quiet, but it's there, so I have to do some additional troubleshooting and see if I can figure out what's going on. Maybe you said you've 2 channels. I don't know if there's any difference with the audio as a consequence, but anyway, that's the problem on which I will be working. Otherwise, I have really good video from the television repeater. Back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7QO, thanks for that. Let's go to James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
Thank you, Dave. How's the audio coming through tonight? There, I got so many screens open here. Well, I had a very nice, high-quality piece of coax come disconnected from the connector at the antenna end, so unfortunately I'm not able to receive tonight. I tried to just jam it back in, but I think it's going to require some serious repair. But yeah, that's the problem with microwaves. Everything has to be perfect. Yeah, you can't just throw the wire out the window and have it work. Anyway, I guess yeah, the little VLC connector, I guess I could ask Wade, are we running 6 megahertz tonight? Because I go to open recent media, my frequency is 1255.
followed by 3 zeros and a bandwidth of 6. So maybe I don't have the bandwidth set correctly if he's running the new simplex system or duplex system. You know, thumbs up there. Okay, so it is correct. So yeah, it's the antenna and the connector. So Ron and Wade, looks like you got to the club meeting in Tacoma. That's great. Always interested in hearing about what they're doing down there. Yeah, it rained here too. Rained last night. Rained throughout much of the day. Everything is just sopping, soaking wet. If it's dirt, it's now mud. So that's. I didn't even get my walk in today. I walked out there about 10 feet and it was just pouring. So I thought, well, I'll give it a few minutes, and it just didn't stop. So anyway, well, Jessica, it sounds like you are making something wonderful. I followed Dave's advice and got the Costco chili, and I've been having these burritos made with that, and it really is good chili. It's just mostly meat. Well worth the $16 for the bucket of it. Impressive though, I was able to catch on the streaming site the 2 screens that you have now, so you've got 2 receivers up at the site to receive the 2 inputs digitally, and then you can output the 2 screens. That is really nice. Good job on that. Okay, well, nothing too much more spectacular going on here at this end. So this is James, WW7N in Northeast Bellevue. Let me turn it back to our net control, Dave. Go ahead, Dave.
WW7N, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. Well, I've got 44 degrees and drizzle, you might say, outside, but boy, it had rained pretty good during the day. And I was glad to be inside watching football all afternoon and part of this evening. Boy, it's an all-weather game. I was just watching the one coming in tonight. It's 10 degrees. Guys were out there playing football quite well. So anyway, go figure. But anyway, a little disappointment for me, for the fans that I was watching. But anyway, they were good games to watch. So that's about what was going on there. And I did some paperwork this afternoon, got caught up on that. I did some reading. I got a couple of new books for the holidays, and I was looking through those today. So that's pretty much it. Well, I'll send it over to my brother, K7NKK, see if he has any input.
This is K9PQ. I'm going to put my microphone to the screen, so if you want to talk now, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Now that's a novel thing. You have your workaround. I love it. You have your workaround. Yeah, I don't know, maybe my echo link will get better by next week. K7QJ are repeaters are not hooked up to echo. So I'm watching on Discord and I'm watching on YouTube. And look at Bob, he lets me have some audio, but this will be my in and out. I hope to get up, I got a couple of 2 meter, 2 meter radios here. I'll hook up an antenna and see if that'll work a lot better than the echo does.
Okay, you're welcome, Don. K9PQ, back to net.
K7NKK, anyway, you got through with a little audio tonight, so that was pretty good. And this is Dave, KD7ZYM. So let's move back up to the top of the list to Ron, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, I flipped my transmitter on, there I am. Yeah, Jessica's dinner sounded really good. I guess Don left. I was gonna suggest that he use 2 meter, but apparently he doesn't have an antenna up, but he'll get one up. That'll be good. I'm just trying to think. My hearing aids, I had one hearing aid that quit a couple of weeks ago, and I got my hearing aids at Costco, so wasn't going to go over there because I figured they were too busy. So lo and behold, my other hearing aid quit this afternoon. That's really kind of amazing. But anyway, I guess I have to make a trip to Costco. I dug out an old hearing aid I had and stuck it in my left ear, and it's working a little bit. Of course, it's not on Bluetooth, so I can't hear my phone or anything. So I really enjoyed having the phone in my hearing aids. So let's see, Joanne taking all the Christmas decorations on, and we have an artificial tree. We bought a new one this year. It's bigger than the one we had before. So I pulled the top out of it and put it out on the patio. I guess I'm going to have to store it in the shed. I didn't really want to do that, but there isn't any place else to put it. And I don't really want to take all the limbs and everything off and mash it all back down and put it in a box. It was a lot of work to get it out and make it look right. It came with, lights on it, pre-lit. They're little LED lights, and it came with a remote control. You can have them, blue, green, purple, red, any color you want. White isn't really white, it's kind of a blue-white. So we had a multitude of colors on it at the same time, which is kind of nice. So anyway, what else did I do? I got my hair cut the other day. I went over to the barber shop. I get a haircut for $10 over on 6th Avenue. It's really a busy place. And it was kind of interesting. Let me let it drop. The guy's TV set had quit, and then the last time I was there, but now he had a new one and it was working fine. Everybody was watching the college games, and so I asked him if he watched the Husky game, and they all said, yeah, no, they'd watched the Husky game. And then they started talking, and they started talking about the Mariners, and I thought it was kind of funny. They all think the Mariners stink and they're not worth watching. I kind of agree with them. I didn't watch them much last year. And they think the same thing about the Seahawks. There was 7 or 8 guys in there. They were all down on the Seahawks. They think that the Seahawks are going the same way as the Mariners, that the owners don't want to spend the money, to have a really good team. And as long as they're selling out the seats and making lots of money, they're not going to do anything. They think that's what the Mariners do. I kind of thought that too. I don't know about the Seahawks. I hadn't really thought too much about that. My son was telling me that even Christmas, number 16, the receiver, I can't say his name now. He's been with the Seahawks a long time. I guess this might be his last game, his last season with the Seahawks. Lockett, Tyler Lockett. Sounds like he's gonna maybe leave the team. I'm kind of sorry to see that. He's one of my favorite players. And I don't know about the quarterback, Gino, whatever his name is. This might be his last year too. I was never impressed with him. And the guys at the barbershop felt the same way. It was kind of interesting. I sat there and listened to him, and I thought it was really interesting. So anyway, I'll turn it back to Net KD7QKU.
QKU, thanks for that report. And for an idea, again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. I'll pause in case anybody wishes to check into the net. Hearing none, again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, let's go to KF7UHK in Everett.
KF7UHK, I was thinking, Ron, for that Christmas tree that you don't want to store in a box, maybe let's just leave it set up like on the back patio or somewhere like that and make it just look like a all year round blooming tree with Christmas lights. And as for Seahawks or Mariners, I've never seen this Mariners show live, like at the stadium. But I once saw a Seahawks game. We had free tickets, probably from probably from the old airplane company up here. I think they gave us a Boeing day or something, and we had nosebleed section, and and all I can say is it's so much easier to watch a game from TV set, where I can pause it and or preempt it. I like to start watching it like an hour early, or basically an hour late, so you can kind of zip through the commercials when they come along, and that's kind of my pattern for watching sports. So today we watched the movie They Call Me Mr. Tips. It was a Sidney Poitier movie. Had Asner and Martin Landau in it, and it was a pretty fun movie. It had music by and now I'm gonna go blank, but that famous black musician just died this year, and I can't think of his name. He did things for Michael Jackson and everybody else, but I'll think of it later, I'm sure, especially when I unkey the mic. And then for New Year's, all I can say is we got a COLA, cost of living adjustments at the old bus driving company, and that was kind of nice. I think I got 4.25%, not bad. So makes you want to stay a little bit longer, at least 3 months longer. So with that, I'll pass it back. KF7, UHK.
UHK. Let's go to K9PQ and Lockle.
First thing first, Ron, I've been meaning to mention I like your beard. It's come in really well and pretty quickly, it seems to me. I don't remember when you started growing it, but it's looking good. I wonder if they trimmed that up at the barber while you were there. That is kind of weird about hearing aids, both going at the same time. The one thing I can tell you with in the computer industry, you run these disk drives. Now it's all mostly solid state, but it used to be that you would have these disk drives running, and you'd buy them at the same time, and they'd be running continuously, and they would fail within a week of each other after years and years and years, because they came from the exact same manufacturing run. They were so close to being identical that they actually failed very close together. It was a common thing, and so you wanted to, if one failed, you wanted to get it fixed right away and probably just go ahead and replace the other one, but you never want to get in a position where you had the backup failing as well. Let's see here. Wade, really good on the improvements. That's exciting stuff to have the two inputs now. James, I thought about going for a walk today, but I kind of like you. It wasn't raining hard, but it just like didn't look good. What I did do is this was kind of a big deal for me. I haven't been exercising for a long, long time, and I started on my exercise stationary bicycle. So started that today. So I'm starting over again and going very slowly to make sure I don't hurt my joints or my muscles as I'm getting myself back into shape. Yeah, football, Seahawks and the Mariners. That's one. I would not say the money is the same, because the Seahawks have a salary cap, and I think they just have made bad decisions, and they've had a little bit of bad luck. But with the Mariners, I completely agree. They're just not spending the money, and they have this historically good pitching rotation. Just outstanding pitching rotation, and they won't spend money to get hitters to all they need is like average hitting, and they could be at least in the playoffs. But I don't know if we'll ever see that. What else do I have here? Oh yeah, TV versus stadium. I have not been to see anything live in quite a while, but I have been to the Mariners a few times. When it's a sunny day, a beautiful sunny day, it is nice to go out and watch, a baseball game. And the key is to go with friends, and you're not like having to. The nice thing about a baseball game is you don't have to have your eyes on the field all the time. You can be chatting and get up and walk around, and it's pretty fun. But the Seahawks, for a while, I had friends at work. There were 3 or 4 of us, and we would just go one game a year. We did that for a few years, and then it kind of fizzled out. Yeah, I've gotten very used to, especially with HD. You know, before HD, it made a big difference. It was much more clear going to see it in person. But man, HD is so good, and with, like you say, being able to pause it, you know, pause, head to the restroom, you know, grab yourself a drink and something to eat, and sit back down in your easy chair. It's hard to beat that. Okay, back to net, K9PQ.
PQ, thanks for that. Let's go down to Tacoma to Wade, W7ITL.
All right. Well, guys, I should be coming in here in just a second. Let's see if my signal will come in. It's maybe a little delayed. I don't know what's going on. Nothing. Interesting. Let's try the other channel. Oh, there we are. Yeah. So, today was a pretty good day. As Ron said, we went up to the Radio Club of Tacoma. In addition to that, in the early morning, I helped my son with his Christmas tree pickup program for the Boy Scouts. And we did 31 pickups. Me and his son were able to do the pickups together in our car. So we did 4 total ourselves. And then my wife helped out with coordinating all the pickups if there was an issue finding the tree or finding the location. Fun day. This is the end of my little PTO break. I took 2 days off this week, which made me only have to go to work for 1 day. And then for last week, I did the same thing. We had a couple days PTO that were already off holiday pay, so I didn't have to pay for those. And then I took 2 of my own PTO days, so I almost got 2 weeks off. So got a lot done with the radio stuff and the repeater stuff, and had a lot of fun. That is about it. Yeah, I'm really impressed with the video tonight. It is just coming in phenomenally. Ron's video and audio was superb. I didn't see any glitches at all. No frame drops. Just perfect. I think we got this thing pretty good. Perfect. Well, with that said, I'll turn it back to Net Control. Dave, this is W7ITL.
W7ITL, thanks for that. And we'll get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. On the 08 machine, I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. So let's go to Jim, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Ron, yeah, Seahawks, help us. The Seahawks are playing tomorrow. I don't remember when. I've got it set up to record that game because I'm going to be busy doing something else. And I even forgot who they're playing. Doesn't really affect them for the playoffs, but just one final game anyway. Jessica, Christmas tree, yeah, that's kind of a good idea maybe for Ron. I don't know. I have a wreath which a neighbor gave me, and we mounted it on the side of the house. It's plastic, and every now and then I see some birds and I see some bees going to the wreath as if they were going to pollinate it or do whatever they're doing. It sure looks pretty realistic, but it doesn't smell realistic at all to me, so I don't know. I wonder if Ron might have the same issue with the tree. Put the tree out back somewhere, and maybe some birds will build a nest in it or something. I don't know. or maybe some critters will try eating on it. We sure have all kinds of critters running around the house here. Squirrels, rabbits, raccoons, possums. Saw a really big coyote a few nights ago. I have deer and elk that were eating on a couple of bushes that I have. Fortunately, they haven't made it into the backyard, which is fenced in yet, although the other critters have. But you might wind up with a bird's nest in the tree there, Ron, if you put that out where they can get to it. I don't know. Just a thought. Wonder if the leaves are made of paper or if it's plastic. If so, if it's plastic, you can probably just hose the thing off if it gets dirty. And Jessica, a 4.25% you said cola? That's outstanding. That's pretty darn good. That's more than we got for Social Security, that's for sure. Bob, you commented about Ron's beard. Yeah, Ron, your beard's looking good, and you know what, Bob, your beard's looking pretty good too. Wade, yeah, good job with the video. I do have good pictures here. I noticed whatever number it is in the upper right, dBm, which should be an indication of power, but I don't understand exactly how it's deriving those numbers. It's varying between individuals, but it's always better than what it was the last couple of nets. So that's an improvement. My only comment on the video that I'm looking at, the picture I'm looking at now, on the bottom left, the J in January is off my screen. And then on our repeater ID on the right, the last little tiny bit of the S is cut off. Other than that, it looks pretty darn good. No hesitation. It's counting pretty well. And between my GPS clock and okay, the J looks good now. Yeah, anyway, only like maybe a 2-second delay between what my GPS clock is saying and what I'm seeing on the television repeater right now. And let's see, the S is almost there. That's everything's, that's perfect. Anyway, that's just my feedback. Back to you. Good job. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
7QO, let's go to Northeast Bellevue to James, WW7N.
Thank you, Dave. Here's my thoughts on staffing our sports teams locally here. I don't know if everybody can see that or not, but you know, if you don't pay for good players, you're probably not going to have a world-class team. So that's a Marion G. Harmon quote. Everything happens for a reason. Sometimes the reason is you're stupid and make bad decisions. So isn't that always the case? Oh, wait, I have to... Oh, I guess you have to click on Discord. If you're just watching this on Discord, then you have to click on that to see it. But I don't know if it's coming through on the streaming or not. Oh, yeah, it does come through. Okay. Anyway, so that's my philosophical input on staffing our local teams here. Selling extra silly, you at least have your bike somewhere where you can use it. I have a treadmill that I hauled up 2 giant hills. I think I told you guys about this. It was underneath a cover down at the bottom of the hill, actually 2 hills away from me. Had a sign on it saying, "This works, we just don't have room for it anymore." So I hauled it all the way up the hill. Got lots of good exercise doing that. It was a huge amount of exercise. Getting it up the hill, I plugged it in, it didn't work. I thought those jerks. But then I got online and there was a hidden reset button, and I hit the reset button and then it worked. So I'm wondering if they put it out there with the signs just to get someone to haul it away thinking it was broken when all they had to do was reset the circuit breaker on it and reset the control board. Still have to get it down. Actually, after getting up those 2 hills, I feel like I could put it on my roof if I had to, but I just have to get it down a few steps, and then I could get it into the area I'm making into kind of a little gym. Yeah, Christmas wreaths and similar things, when they're left up year-round, I consider those to be bee porn. The bees come there, they think they're getting something, but then it's so ultimately unsatisfying. I know someone who went to a butterfly farm. I didn't know there was such a thing. But a butterfly farm, they went into where all the butterflies were, and one person was wearing a flowery Hawaiian shirt, and all the butterflies landed all over her. I think it's the same thing. The butterflies were all probably discussing this with each other. What is this, some kind of sick joke? There's nothing to eat here. Anyway, that's my thought on Christmas decorations left up year-round. But I don't know, maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe the bees enjoy it, or at least maybe they get the joke. Disappointed too that my setup here that I thought would work so well tonight, it's just so typical. The little coax cable just falls right out of the connector, and I tried to jam it back in, and no dice on that. I've tried several times, several passes on the VLC player, and it's just not going to work. That's one thing about digital. It's either all there or it's all not there. There's no in between. Left of the net, let me go ahead and turn it back to our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. That's Dave out in Seattle. Go ahead, Dave.
WW7N, this is Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, talking about artificial vegetation, it reminded me of an assignment I had in the 80s. This is when artificial turf was starting to make the rounds around for yards. And we got a call that this guy up in the central area had done his entire yard. And so we'd gone up there, and he had put down the artificial turf for grass, not only in his yard, but out in the parking strip. Then all around the yard, he had artificial flowers all along all the flower beds, and in several green bushes that he had in his front yard. So anyway, it was quite a sight to see. Anyway, ABC News picked up the pictures on it because it was really kind of ahead of its time back in the 80s. So that was kind of interesting. So this is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. So I'm going to push it back up to the top to Ron, KD7QKU.
I think Dave turned it over to me. So Wade, I was just texting with Wade. He was asking me about coax and end connectors. So maybe that's what Jim needs. Wade, the first time you were on and there was a split screen and you said something about Carlos, and then Carlos, he didn't show up, so I flipped on my transmitter, and that's when you blacked out. So I'm the cause of that blackout, so I switched it off immediately. So I guess we were both on the same frequency, or on the same numbers. I'm on 62 and 90. Yeah, our Christmas tree, I guess, I have plenty of room in the lawnmower shed. I can just put it in there. I'd like for it to stay clean, I think. But you were talking about artificial flowers. My brother did that at his house. He put, in these rhododendrons, he put poinsettia blooms or something in there. He left them in the summer. And some lady, I guess, walked by and saw him out in the yard one day and said, "Man, those rhododendrons you have, they just bloom all year long." I guess she couldn't tell they were rhododendrons from the street. So anyway, let's see, I was going to say something else. Jim, I'm glad you're receiving a picture, and that's really good. I hope you can get a transmitter one of these days and we can see you. That would really be nice. What else? Oh, my beard. No, I've only had it a couple of weeks, I think. I started it on a Monday. Maybe it'll be 3 weeks on Monday. And of course the barber, no, he didn't trim it. I can trim it myself. I have clippers in those little plastic things you put on the clipper, so I can make it 3/8 or 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch, whatever I need, I guess. I don't know how long I'll keep it. I was tired of shaving, so I did this. So today I didn't have to do anything. Every now and then I go under my chin and my neck and here. I don't like the hair there, so I shave it off. So anyway, what else is there to talk about? I don't know. Food sounds good. So I hope that, geez, I can't say your brother's name now. Isn't that something? NKK? KN7NKK? Geez. I hope he gets the 2-meter antenna up so he can talk with us. That'll be good. And I don't know. I'm going to turn it back to Ned. I'm just talking to hear my head rattle, I guess. All right. Back to Ned, KD7QKU.
QKU. Let's go to Jessica, KF7UHK. And does the name Quincy Jones ring a bell with you?
I had to write that down so I wouldn't forget. Yeah, Quincy Jones, and this is a 1970s movie, and this music, kind of ran all the way through the movie. It was very mod feeling for 1970s. I'm sure it was really cool jazzy. Yep, Quincy Jones, what a master of music. So we were talking about a couple of different things we saw when we were in Belize. One was the Belize Zoo. This lady made after she had been on a film shoot for, I think, talking about the Macau River and a dam they wanted to put in, and these animals all kind of started getting acclimated to people, and so she did it as she left. These animals would be in danger, so she made a zoo. It has barred tapirs and the scarlet macaw and wrote a book about it, I think called The Scarlet Macaw. Beautiful, really nice zoo with hand-painted signs everywhere. She's a fascinating lady. But maybe someone wrote a book about her. So this is correcting me here. And then the other thing I think we went to is a butterfly sanctuary, and this is kind of out towards the Guatemala border. And we had hired this taxi to take us out, and we said, we'd be about an hour or so, and did you want to come back or what? And the guy said, I'll just wait here for you. I'll take a little nap, and you go have fun and take as long as you want, and I'll be here. And he was there when we were done. And it was really, really beautiful. And some of the stuff they had was just kind of like, wow, you wouldn't see this anywhere. And while we were down there, we never got bit by bugs, mosquitoes or anything. We were told that there are certain bugs out there that had eyes that glowed red at night and stuff like that, but we never saw anything. Nothing ever bothered us. And that was one of the nice things about Belize. It wasn't like Florida. You go to Florida and the Everglades, when the sun goes down, those mosquitoes come out. All right, that's it for me here in KF7 GSK.
KF7UHK, thanks for that. Let's go to Bob in Bothell, K9PQ.
Okay, well, I've been meaning to say this whole net and forgetting. The still picture that you're seeing when I put it up is a picture I took at the touch tank of the Seattle Aquarium. So it's if you want to do a little photography, that's a great place to do it. Really good subjects and very colorful and a lot of things going on. So that was a fun trip. I haven't been in a while. I think I'm going to get down there again here soon. So let's see. Oh, I just saw a text come in from Rob that he just now saw my message. I texted him to see if he could get Echolink going, and but a bit late, but that's all right. Let's see. What else did I have? Oh, the artificial turf. You know what what got me, and this was also back in probably the 70s, maybe even late 60s, driving into Bellevue, and somebody had a house in Bellevue right near 405, back when people still had houses around there. There weren't a whole lot left even then. His entire front yard was concrete. and I will say he did have sort of an excuse for it. His yard sort of dropped off very quickly, so it had a very, it's sort of like a part of a mound that dropped off very quickly, and so it would have been very hard to keep a lawn on there, but it just was the weirdest looking thing to see a house with just a complete concrete front yard. What else? I meant to mention also before about Gino and Tyler. I feel the same way as you exactly, Ron. I've just never been really impressed with Gino, but Tyler, I'll be sad to see him go. I have two jerseys. One is Russell Wilson, the other is Tyler Lockett, and so I think my next one, if I do buy one, will be one of the young guys. Somebody will stick around I think will stick around for a while. Jackson, am I saying that right? Smith and Jigba, and or possibly the defensive back that I'm blanking his name right now. That's really, really good. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of talked out as well. I think this will probably be my last time around. That crockpot chicken sounds excellent. I haven't had dinner yet, so I'm going to go get me some dinner after the net. K9PQ, back to net.
K9PQ, thanks for that. And time for another ID. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. On the 08 machine, I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Let's go to Tacoma to Wade, W7ATS.
All right. Well, I took some notes this round. Let's see. So, yeah, the Scarlet Macaw, Jessica. That's something I'm kind of curious about. And Guatemala Butter Sanctuary. Interesting. Yeah. Sounds like an interesting place. Same with Belize. Sounds like Ron, you're gonna thinking about putting your Christmas tree in the shed. And then the comment about the roadies, what was that? Who wrote said that? But sports team stuff. So yeah, lots of sports tonight. I don't have a lot to say other than it's been a really good net. Bob, I hope you get something good to eat after the net. So I'll turn it back to net control. This is W7ITL. ITL.
Let's go to Jim, N7QO.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Well, Jim, that exercise bike sounds like a win. I do remember you saying something about that once upon a time in the past. Sounds like you found out a place to keep it now, so that's good. Angry butterflies. I'm trying to picture that. I don't know. Angry butterflies. Okay. Maybe frustrated. Well, anyway, whatever. Dave, yeah, AstroTurf and fake flowers. I have a neighbor who puts up fake flowers. She changes between seasons, and I didn't know they were fakes until she said something to me about that. But then I never really got close to them either.
Ron, shaving. Boy, yeah. I don't know. You've been busy doing housework. It's like there's only so many hours in the day. I would think I could either shave or do housework, but not both. So I have to go along with you on that. And that area you were pointing at on your chin, that's a lot of fellas refer to that as a soul patch. Kind of popular for some people to grow hair exclusively there. But yeah, it could be bothersome. Jessica, oh my goodness. Bugs with eyes that glow red at night. It sounds like someone's describing a chupacabra. I don't know about bugs. I don't know if I'd want to be around at night with red glowing eyes staring at me. Red glowing eyes staring at oh, Bob, you mentioned that aquarium. Yeah, cool picture. Thanks for that. Back to you, Dave, N7QO. Let's go to Northeast Bellevue. James, WU7N.
WU7N here in Northeast Bellevue. Well, Jim, I've been to lots of parties where my eyes glowed red afterwards. So, I mean, you know, I can do it. The bugs can do it. We can all do it. You just have to put effort into it. Let's see. Oh, I do remember you talking about plastic flowers. I was in New Mexico. Gosh, wow, the time flies here. I guess a decade and a half ago. And we were driving, you know, out in the middle of the nowhere where all those reservations are. And every once in a while you pass a graveyard. And there were these beautiful, brilliant, colored flowers in all these graveyards. And I thought, there must be some kind of celebration. And it wasn't October, you know, Day of the Dead or anything. I couldn't figure out why people would be putting all these fresh flowers out. And so finally I said, you know, let's just stop out here in the middle of nowhere. It's not like there's any traffic. Walk out there, maybe there'll be some kind of hints in, you know, Spanish or something that will tell us. I walk up, and they were plastic. All the flowers were plastic. So that's how come they look so brilliant. And I guess you don't have to worry about the animals eating them. I mean, you know, and they sit there forever. And I guess they're fairly resistant to the sun because, I mean, it was just this big patch of colorful flowers out in the middle of nowhere. And then you drive along, and then you get another patch where there's another graveyard. So we had a good laugh on that. Yeah, the plastic flowers last forever. They'll probably be there 100 years from now. I don't know if they'll be faded or not. Some of them were, you know, when we walked through the graveyard, with some of them that have been out there a while, I think they do, the sun takes its toll. I think does eventually attack some of the dyes. But it was amazing how bright and colorful they all were. Looks like I have a project here. I've got a piece of coax to repair, or I might try. I had an original plan with my antenna that didn't seem to work for anything, of mounting the actual dongle right at the feed point of the antenna and then running an extension USB cord from the base of the dongle to the computer. In other words, instead of running coax to the dongle and then plugging the dongle in the computer, run a USB extension cord out to the dongle. I think there's limitations on how long you can run a USB line before they say, no, it's not going to work anymore. But I think I do have a short, you know, one of those famous made in China where they don't care, they don't need no stinking standards, where I think it would easily reach over there. So I might try that too, and see what gives me better results. Anyway, I see it's the top of the hour now. Let me turn it back to Dave, our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. For anyone listening, we meet 8 p.m. Pacific Time Wednesdays and Saturdays. And our audio channel is this repeater with the PL tone of 103.5, just for the 2 hours a week. The rest of the time, it's the normal PL tone. So, Dave, out in Seattle, go ahead and close it up.
U7N, thanks for that. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. We'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for letting us use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 with a specific tone of 103.5 for our transmissions for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, as held on Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, terminating the net at 9 o'clock. Good evening all, and thank you for attending.